All 9 films, one new game. That was this game's headline when it was announced back in 2019, but LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is finally here now, and yes, you can indeed play through all 9 films in one game. We've gotten the original 6 films recreated from the complete saga and a recreation of Episode 7 from The Force Awakens. Then, for the first time ever, we also get to play through Episodes 8 and 9. This new game brings in many new game mechanics, a diverse and dynamic open world that plays into the story between levels, and there are 5 levels for each film. The overall game experience is great, I think many of us can agree on that, but today I'm analyzing how each film does against each other. Therefore, here's my ranking of each film's portrayal in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Without further ado, let's get into it. In last place, 9th place, is unfortunately Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Doesn't help that the movie itself is bad, but the developers couldn't seem to make the movie as fun as whatever potential they could normally find out of stuff like this would have had. Because the game was announced before this film's release, it's presumable this was the last film they really worked on in the game, and by that it just seems like the least effort was put into this, or at least, the biggest problem is it just feels the most rushed. Not as much love and humor is put into the cutscenes as the other films, and there are a number of shorter levels and free roam segments. I mean, there's still plenty redeemable moments from fun gameplay, and most of what's done for the movie does honestly feel appropriate, but I guess it just never matched the fun of the other movies, at least for me. Despite this being at the bottom of the list though, it's still not bad, it's just not as great if you can follow. At number 8, I have Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Again, this is mostly good. It has some fun levels and fun free roam segments, but it also has more issues than the other films. As this was the first movie played for many people, including myself, it's only considered an underwhelming start when compared to the other movies, because you don't even realize all of the other great gameplay mechanics you're missing out on quite yet. All the levels here are short and include only a limited number of mechanics. Also, not to mention, the finale of the movie is split up into 3 levels, so the 2 levels before it include way more free roam and cutscenes and everything. Yeah, just saying, it's a bit uneven is all. Alright, number 7 is Episode 4, A New Hope. This really does just about everything it could for the movie it's based on, but I guess it's also nearly limited by that. It has a great start with its first level, then has fine free roam, but also a mostly filler level. Then you have 2 levels in a row that feel very similar because they're both based in the Death Star. And then there's a finale that's just fine, but also not too out of the ordinary with this game's typical ship level. I think they overall did a pretty good job, again, with what they were working with. And it certainly captured the lovable charm of the original film. But with that, it also nearly made me rather sit and watch the original film rather than play the game. Okay, at number 6, I have Episode 7, The Force Awakens. This definitely felt the least original out of all the movies, mainly because this got an entire game made in 2015 with all the same character skins, models, as well as the dialogue, a lot of similar game mechanics, free roam, the list goes on. However, they still managed to do a really good job even with that in mind, as the free roam segments get a particular amount of good content included, and then the levels are short but yet sweet. The levels are really fun, actually, the more I think about it, and I guess these being way more to the point than the Force Awakens game really helps this become an overall better experience. Next up at number 5, I've put Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. I really enjoyed this film. I think a majority of the levels here are actually really some of the game's best. I think it went through the movie a little faster than I would have liked, because it definitely did feel like a shorter one when compared to the length of the other movies, but nonetheless, I think the effort put into the level mechanics and the maps, and even the free roam bits, helped this out a lot. In fact, this movie is one of the ones that I look forward to replaying in free play the most. I can't find much more to say than that, and I love it. So, moving on to number 4, I have Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. This was a pleasant surprise to me, as I definitely did not expect to enjoy this as much as I did. Attack of the Clones gets an excellent, well-paced, and balanced amount of free roam and levels combined, with a number of really good free roam segments and levels that stand out at the top of the game. I think somehow, too, the enticing visuals of the game are really shown off here as well, adding an overall great vibe to this movie. Oh yeah, and it's also worth mentioning that after starting with Episode 1, this, I guess, really shows off the game's core features and new mechanics a lot better, so it definitely helped suck me into the game a lot better than Episode Episode 1 did. Alright, coming in at number 3, I have Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. No surprise here, this movie was extremely fun to play through, and many elements of the film are brought to life appropriately in both free roam segments and the levels. All 5 of the levels are consistently fun, action-packed, and all feel unique in their own right. It certainly feels like the developers gave a particular amount of effort into this movie, and it shows. If Revenge of the Sith is your favorite movie, I'm sure this has to be a great time for you, and I at least think it was given great justice. Now, if you're like me and Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, is your favorite film, then it's great to know that that was also given great justice, and so I've placed it at number 2. Here we have yet another set of consistently great, exciting, and unique levels, while also capturing the really special charm of the original film. The free roam segments are also given exactly what they feel like they should be, and so the movie is overall captured just about perfectly. The portrayal of this movie and the previous spot really successfully make it feel like this game was worth it, despite the complete saga already being a thing. So yeah, making this game worth being a game is honestly something to show for, I guess. Alright, so now, if you've already done the process of elimination, you'd know that yes, shockingly, at the number 1 spot, I have Episode 8, The Last Jedi. I was not expecting to have as good of a time with this as I did, but I did. After playing just a new version of all 7 previous movies, The Last Jedi was the first completely fresh LEGO game experience, and it was really engaging to see every bit of how they portrayed the movie. I think all of the level choices were well justified, and each level included a really unique sense of fun to them. Then the free roam segments were really particularly great. The hub worlds created for the movie, such as Acto and Canto Bight, really stand out as great, and having the story implemented into them was just really fun. You get a bit where you have to find the cup that Luke is going to put the alien milk into. Like, come on, it doesn't get much better than that. On top of that, the cutscenes here particularly stand out as some of the funniest, and yeah, just everything done here, I was really into it. I feel like it almost doesn't matter what your opinion on the movie is to have a great time playing this in the game, but I mean, who knows? Let me know if I'm wrong. In other words, I'd love to hear your own thoughts on the game, or maybe your own ranking, down in the comments below. Also, you may have noticed that I stayed away from talking about any levels in specific. That's because I am considering doing a ranking of every level, so if that's anything you're interested in, let me know, and definitely stay tuned. You could also check out my walkthrough going on for this game on the channel right now, as well as plenty of other content. So, that all being said, thank you very much for watching. Consider to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for lots more videos coming real soon. Bye-bye!